Kenyan authorities failed to design a social security program that will guarantee everyone and not just a few an adequate standard of living during the pandemic, according to a report released today by the Human Rights Watch. The report also denotes huge discrepancies in the manner in which money set aside for cushioning the vulnerable was spent. David Kagina with more.
According to the report released today, dubbed Kenya's pandemic cash transfer program riddled with irregularities, compiled by the Human Rights Watch, only a small fraction of vulnerable families in Kenya benefited from the program, which was characterized by lack of transparency, cronyism, nepotism, and outright favoritism, with the government failing to follow the stated selection criteria or to share information that should have enabled more vulnerable families to enroll.
They did not even know that there was a cash transfer program going on. Why? Because the government officials who are tasked with the implementation of this program decided to do it secretly. Decided to do it very secretly. And when we asked them why is it secret, they said the number of slots they got, the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Labor, who are managing this cash transfer, had given them were very few. And the people who needed support were very many, and they could not afford to announce it.
President Uhuru Kenyatta on 23rd May announced that he had allocated 10 billion Kenyan shillings to specifically caution the vulnerable households, targeting those from the informal settlements.
So for Nairobi alone, the government says it supported only 29,000 households. If you look at that figure, it comes to just about 4.8% of the 600,000 households that needed support.
There are people who got the cash transfer in different phases. Some got 1,000 for 1 month. Others got the 1,000 once per week for 3 months. And there are others who didn't get, like me.
According to a report released earlier this year by the Financial Transparency Coalition, 92% of COVID-related funds in Kenya went to big corporations, neglecting millions of people who have been pushed into poverty. It also indicated that the $50 million released by the World Bank in immediate funding to support Kenya's COVID-19 emergency response projects, arguably these loans were used by the government to pay government debts and to fund government expenditure on the onset of the pandemic.
Families that qualified as having high poverty index, but they were not benefiting from the other existing cash transfer programs, like the Inua Jamii, which started in 2003, and the Hunger Safety Net. So that was the criteria. There was no, the program did not have a gender dimension, saying how many households are headed by women. I think that was not there. What was the other aspect?
For selection, the government's project to cushion the vulnerable was a big flop as compared to the initial projections of 35 installments per household. Only 3 to 4 installments were available per household. David Kagina, Switch TV, Nairobi.
With David Kagina's story, we now take a short commercial break.